Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Rain and Her Showers, and today we're going to be talking about the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo happening on the 13th or the 14th of March depending on where you live. Before we get into this video, please remember to do 4 important things for me. 1, like. 2, comment. 3, subscribe, and 4, share when you get to the end of this amazing video. So let us talk about what is happening in this video. We're going to talk about what a lunar eclipse is, what it means that it's in the sign of Virgo, what transits we should be expecting during this time, how to align with this energy with do's and don'ts, and at the end I will give 2 or 3 journal prompts. So if you are interested in that and think that this video is for you, stick around until the end so you can get all the information you need to align with this amazing, intense, wild, unexpected lunation, because that is the nature of eclipses. They are unpredictable, they are crazy, and this is the first eclipse out of the second one that is going to be happening at the end of the month, but that will be a solar eclipse, but we will have a whole entire video, different video for that. So the most important thing you want to do for this eclipse, and rather this full moon, is let go of the illusion that you are in control of things. I think it's very important to remember that in life you can only control yourself, your actions and reactions, and you cannot control the reactions and actions of other people. With this being in Virgo, which is a sign all about perfectionism and structure, that is going to be heavily highlighted right now. But it's also with the sun that's going to be in Pisces, which is more about going with the flow. And interestingly, both of these signs are mutable, if I'm not mistaken. So they are both signs that are open to adaptability and change. So that is something you want to really keep at the forefront of your mind over the next week, like the week that we're in and the week after the 14th, as well as the week prior, because you can feel the energy of a full moon a week before and a week after. And I will talk about later on in the video which other times you should flag in the next few months to see how this full moon will continue its themes in your life. Okay, so let's get it started with the information. So this is happening in the mutable earth sign of Virgo at 23 degrees. What does this mean? This means that because it's an earth sign, that it's calling to a lot of stability and structure and order. But the fact that it's in a mutable earth sign is it's asking us to be open to adaptation, being open to changes, and being open to flexibility, and not being fixed on one singular thing. The people who will be most affected by this are people with planets or angles or important points such as north nodes and south nodes, 23 to 24 degrees of the mutable signs. The mutable signs are Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. The people who will like this full moon the most are people with planets or angles 23 to 24 degrees of Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer, and Capricorn. And this is because this full moon will harmoniously aspect your natal chart placements. If you do not know what a natal chart is, it is the picture of the sky the day you were born, and it's very important for anybody who wants to use astrology to align with their lives. To be able to get that, I have left the link down in the description below. You want to focus on your big 6, that is your sun, your moon, your rising, your Mars, your Mercury, and your Venus. Those are the big 6 things that you want to focus on when you're learning about your birth chart. Remember that when you're looking at your horoscopes, it's always better to look at your sun sign if you want to see how it affects your identity and how people view you. Your moon sign if you want to look more at your emotions and your inner world. But your rising sign is the most accurate, showing you real time and real events, and more practical and more linked to you as a person and as an individual. So from a day-to-day basis, I would always suggest looking at your rising sign, especially if you are new to it. But if you're an astrology geek like me, look at all 3 and compare and see how they contrast or complement one another. Okay, what does an eclipse mean, right? An eclipse means it's a culmination of events. So like we're at the peak basically of a movie or a book or whatever like entertainment you're taking in, if you want to use our lives as a metaphor in that way. And it's really a time where we're looking at karmic doors closing, and it's showing us where things need to end. Maybe where we've been stretching things out for too long and waiting for too long to bring things to an end. This full moon happening in Virgo will ask us to release control, perfectionism, and the need to have everything be perfect and meticulous. With the sun being in Pisces, it reminds us that the best plan sometimes is having no plan at all and being open to just going with the flow, trusting the process, leaning into your intuition, and listening to your inner voice, especially as you watch things unfold, rather than being consumed by whatever happens in your life during this time. Observe it and take note to how you can use it to your advantage. The Virgo Pisces axis will bring up important questions about how we can allow ourselves to let our plans happen while still being open to change and being open to the flow. It's asking us, how do we balance structure with letting things happen naturally? Also asking us, where have we been holding on or fixating to ideas that are outdated and that no longer serve us, whether that be people, situations, goals, or dreams. Okay, as I mentioned, it's generally quite a wild time. Eclipses come with a lot of big shifts, big endings, and big beginnings, and they have a fated quality to them, meaning there's some things that might happen that are not necessarily in our control or that we even thought would happen but have been destined to happen for those of us who believe in fate. And because it is in an eclipse, this will have a stronger and longer lasting impact compared to other full moons that happen during the astrological year. Okay, so now that we've given an overview, let's talk about the top transits that will be happening during this time. First, we will have the Sun in Pisces sextile Uranus in Taurus. So this type of aspect can bring unexpected shifts and realizations, and it will most likely be felt on a more personal level. This will impact our spiritual and creative life. This is because that is the Sun in Pisces. It will show us, okay, how can we lean into more into that? How can we give more into our spiritual selves, and how can we give in more to our creative selves? And then with the Uranus and Taurus, remember, Uranus is a planet of big shakeups, of shaking things up, of changing things, of almost having to destroy things to build things up. And it being in Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign, which is all about stability, luxury, finance, and order, it will ask us, where in our financial life have we had big hiccups that we might have overlooked and not looked into, and how can we go back, fix those things to ensure we don't make those mistakes again, and rather use whatever mistakes we made as lessons to make better decisions in the future. The Sun and Uranus will support each other and help you to push forward to make a big decision that you might have been delaying. Remember, Uranus is all about shaking things up, and the Sun being in Pisces is all about creating a new reality and you letting your imagination really take front and center and really not holding back. And because it's in Uranus, it might push you to make a decision or a choice that you have been delaying, whether or not you are ready for that. Okay. These are things, though, that you might have already been thinking about for a while and have been pushing back for so long, but now time to play, Isaac, some more time to play. You need to get things done. Yeah. And you might feel this transit will be very freeing and liberating, because as we let go, it will result in progress, authenticity that is more closely aligned to us, and forward movement. Virgo is a sign that is inherently known for being very service orientated, likes order and organization, and can purification. So with this, we will see a lot of things of nudging ourselves into a more detailed and productive way, but also looking at, where have we been hypercritical? Where have we been overly analytical and not allowing things to be? Remember, this full moon is about balancing the analytical mind with the spiritual mind, and being like, the two things can coexist at once. We will see a lot of changes and big changes on the collective level in themes that are involving Virgos, such as healthcare, engineering, pharmaceuticals, logisticals, or administrations. Jobs might change dramatically, and there might be big changes to the healthcare system. Okay, and then we will also have the eclipse activating Saturn and Neptune conjunction in Pisces. So Saturn, the planet of structure and discipline, will come together with the planet of Neptune, which is all about dreams, the subconscious mind, and the imagination. And it will bring up things and show us, be like, Delulu is not the Salulu. Right now, you need to catch a wake up and you need to really see things for what they are. And once again, this will bring up things of what goals, what dreams, what ideas, what relationships were built on unstable and shaky foundations and might become even less stable now with this transit, and how do we need to change those things or move away from those things to make our lives better for ourselves. This will be coupled with the Venus and Mercury retrograde, and this will have an effect mainly on relationships, whether it is friendships or romantic relationships, and will help us see what positive aspects we like in our relationships and friendships, and what not so positive aspects do we have in our relationships or friendships. What do we want to hold on to? What do we want to let go of? Do we want to hold on to the relationship at all, or are we ready to let it go because we see that it no longer fits in our life and who we are trying to become? Mercury is the ruler of this eclipse. Remember, Mercury is the planet of communication and short-term travel and all things communication, whether it's written, spoken, verbal, and that's why retrogrades have to do with a lot of miscommunication and confusion. Remember that on the very next day, Mercury will go retrograde after this full moon. Mercury will be in Aries, which is a sign associated with new beginnings, survival, action, conflict, opposition, but it is also a sign of leadership. So this is a time where you will see a lot of people standing up for themselves and being very open about standing up for themselves and doing it boldly. Aries is also the very first sign of the zodiac, so people will be pushed to put themselves first, especially when it comes to how they express themselves. Some partnerships or relationships might need to come to an end or take a different perspective if they want to continue once this lunation has come to pass. So now that the top transits are out of the way, let's talk about the do's and the don'ts for this full moon. Do accept that you cannot control everything. The full moon being in Virgo once again highlights the themes of perfectionism, control, and stability. And we need to remember that we can only control ourselves, not other people and their actions. Next, identify the messy areas of your life. The moon being in Virgo at the time will help us use this energy to really look at, okay, where do I need to tweak things? Where do I need to fix things and improve things? What needs to be improved? What needs to be changed? Or what needs to be totally cut out in our lives? Especially things that have to do with healthcare. Now remember, Virgo is also a sign that's all about our health. So what in our health life, or how can we make our lives more healthy? With the sun being in Pisces and Pisces dealing with addiction and relying on substances, we might have to look at our relationship with substances such as alcohol and drug abuse and how we can cut those things out or lessen them if they are holding us back, especially if it is becoming addictive. And remember, Pisces deals with addiction too. Next, be open to surprises. Eclipses are known for bringing the unexpected. So rather expect the unexpected so that you are most prepared for it in that way. Be open to trusting whatever happens, and no matter how surprising it is, look at it as a way for you to actually grow and move forward rather than something that is holding you back and that is happening to you. Think about it as something that is happening for your greatest and highest good. Okay, this is a time where it's very important to release. So be open to letting things go that are no longer aligning with your life. Try not to fight what is changing and just see it as an indication of a change in direction and a new thing needing to be built. Remember to keep an abundance mindset in this time. Remember that you always have more, and that when something ends or is taken away, it's not now that you have less. It means you are making room for more and making room for what is actually for you and needed by you in this time. Remember, it can only get bigger and better. Next, don'ts. Don't go into Delulu mode. Delulu is not the Salulu right now. It's good to be ambitious. It's good to wanna open up your mind and really tap into that Pisces sun energy of being imaginative and being a visionary and being a dreamer, but don't neglect the practicality that the moon is bringing with it being in Virgo, which is an earth sign. Also, do not cling on to perfection. Once again, this is because the moon will be in Virgo. Also, do not take your dreams lightly. The sun is in Pisces. This is the time to be imaginative and dream, and know that the sky is not even the limit. Really go and think about how you want your future to look like and how you're practically going to let that happen. Some of the transits here might also be showing us what things we do no longer have time for, that even though we enjoy, might be holding us back from what we actually truly love and what we're passionate about and our bigger dreams and our bigger goals. So really examine what those things are. Okay, let us get into some journal prompts. Okay, so question number 1. How has perfectionism held me back from starting ... So this could be starting a project, starting a new lifestyle practice, starting a new dream, going for a new job, a goal, whatever. How has perfectionism held you back? 2. What are 3 things I can do in a week to get closer to making my dreams a reality? 3. What would I like to release during this lunar cycle, if anything at all? Okay, those are the journal prompts. Before I forget, some times that you should look out for in terms of this new moon. You might feel that everything I've mentioned, you'll see these 2 weeks pass and you feel like actually nothing changed and nothing felt different for you. Then I would like to suggest that you look at these times of the month. Okay, so firstly, the end of May and the beginning of June. Okay, this is because, just give me a second, I'm trying to find it in my notes. Yes, this is because at the end of May and the start of June, the South Node will reach the degree of the eclipse. Okay, the South Node will reach the same degree that the eclipse is in, that will be happening on the 13th or the 14th. And then also you want to look at the end of June because Mars will move into Virgo, which will activate the degree of this eclipse. So this will be a good time to see what things that were happening in the month of March, mid-March, towards the end of March, and what themes or events connect to you or to your life at the beginning of May, at the end of May and the beginning of June, as well as at the end of June. Yes, okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. And remember, I will leave you with my favorite quote: go out and live your life in love, because there's so much to love and so little to fear. Until next time, loves.